Uh, yes, Casanovians. So I've got a video which is uploading as we speak. So I thought what I'll do is I'll become a multifaceted multitasker and do multiple things at the same time because that's how we roll. Yeah, approaching girls is impossible. That's the title that I've decided on because I'm sure it can feel like that a lot of times for a lot of people. And I want to share a personal epiphanova from the past couple of days, specifically from the video which I'm about to drop. Drop it like a big filthy turd, mate. Yeah, so at 6 p.m. UK time, I'm going to be dropping this new video, and it's hands down my favorite video that I've ever made. So it's a collaboration between myself and George. You might know George from previous videos that we've made together. So we did the first video was like getting back into cold approach after a hiatus, and then the second video we made was called A Painfully Realistic Start to a Day Game Session. Both videos absolutely slapped. I know that you boys absolutely love watching George, but bro, this video that I'm about to drop at 6 p.m. UK time, special. Special video, man. Like I've never laughed so much during the post edit. It's just like, I've been doing YouTube for a decent time now, but this is by far favorite video that I've ever made. And I hope that you watch it all the way through because it's just like the perfect video in my eyes, right? It's like this beautiful crescendo from start to finish. I won't give too much away about it, but really the message for this video is to remind ourselves to have fun. And what I've really discovered over the past couple of days is approaching girls and making connections and meeting people. Everything is effortless once you're actually having fun, and I can't package it in any more concise way as that, right? Like internal state equals external reality. Like when you're just laughing your way through life, when you're surrounded by like-minded people and you're just belly laughing, right? Just like playful ping pong back and forth. Like, when you're just with people who just understand you. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're with people where when you're in that feel good flow state where everything becomes funny, and then more people keep adding more humorous anecdotes to the melting pot of humor, and it just keeps getting better. And I do think what I've realized now is the secret to socializing, like the secret to making connections and just living a abundant happy life, it's maximizing our state, to want to put it into practical, relatable terms, right? It's maximizing our state. I heard Owen Cooks talk about the importance of like pumping states. Yeah, because girls just want to have fun, right? And it's just so crazy to me, and I've gone through it myself, so I feel as though I am a valid commentator of this. Like I'm so happy, right? I'm so happy that you boys are actually watching my content, because there is so much bullshit on the internet these days. And what I've noticed, especially in the like let's call it the seduction red pill manosphere like realm of YouTube, whenever I've got sucked into that in the past, like I've become so boring, right? I've just become this self-improvement junkie. Yeah, self-improvement videos or like manosphere red pill videos at one point almost felt like porn. Like they can get so addictive, right? And I felt like I couldn't even live my life if I hadn't like checked in to that particular space of the internet, right? This was like last year. Um, but I'm so happy that you boys are actually watching my content, because like this is for me the part of, let's call it masculinity, which is just not being discussed, which is having fun, like having fun, like enjoying ourselves, yeah, reconnecting with that child inside of us. Like what do I always say about game, right? Game is not so much a process of learning anything new, but relearning that which we already know. Yeah, stripping back those layers of social conditioning so we can connect with our most authentic selves. Yeah, it took Picasso 4 years to paint like Raphael, but a lifetime to paint like a child. And this really got elucidated to me. So we did the filming with George, and then I think I've shared the story previously, but fuck it. reiteration is consolidation. I'm going to share it again. In the video that I'm about to drop, at the end of the video, there's like I've I've um I've added this like almost like this like night gamey type of video at the end of it. So basically after the filming, we went to a Weatherspoons, which is like it's like a chain of pubs in the UK. And inside the Weatherspoons, like for guys who are watching, they might not really know what I'm talking about. Like, let's just say we we transitioned from a day game environment to a night game environment. Right now, everyone's on the same fucking wave. But we're in this pub, right? And what we were doing is we essentially made a playground out of the pub, right? So we were inside this pub, and because we were so like we had so much good energy inside of us from the day of filming, from doing all the exercises, just from like really connecting with the world around us, yeah, just like laughing our way through life, like everything was funny. By the time we got to like the night game venue, like we just continued the fun. Like everything else was an extension of the entertainment. So we were just like getting each other to do stupid challenges, like, oh, you have to go pull up a chair and sit next to that couple, but just don't say anything, right? Like a couple who were just on a date. So George had to just go like sit on their table, not say a word. It's all documented. You'll be able to watch it. I had to like go over and try and like kiss this bald man's head. And just like other stupid challenges. I just like pointing at like groups of girls who we had to go and approach and just like say outlandish things. And yeah, man, that really is the key. Like approaching girls feels impossible if you're in a shit state. And like I'm not one of those guys who's like, right, you need to go out there, approach, no excuses, no matter what, don't be a pussy, get your 30 approach. Like it's just such stupid advice, right? I believe we should go out, yeah, we should go out to cold approach, especially when we feel like it. Yeah, because you're gonna have days where you do just get yourself into this good mood, and this I call this pre-gaming, right? It's like the game before the game. So do everything within your power to get yourself into as high a frequency state as possible before you go out to cold approach. That might be going to the gym, getting a cold shower, spending time around friends in a cafe before you go out to cold approach. Like the more energy and the more wins you can stack, and the more we feel good inside of ourselves. It's like you're filling a cup. Yeah, and the more full the cup is, the more you just want to give. And also, when you're already feeling good before you go out to cold approach, you can take the blowouts, right? You can take the knocks because you're operating from that place of wholeness rather than from that place of lack. So, really, the mantra of this video is, for fuck's sake, stop taking this game of life so seriously. Like, learn to loosen up, right? Learn to enjoy yourself. And I do think it's about finding your people as well, right? It's that is so crucial. Like I couldn't have made that video with anybody. I made that video with George, and that's why it worked, right? It's like our chemistry is off the fucking scale. Like we just get each other. Do you know what I mean? Like we get each other's humor. Like we're finishing like each other's sentences. We're like we know what's gonna make the other person laugh, and then that just adds to this environment of fun. And like that's what I've really learned. Obviously, I've got my private network, the Entourage, and I'm selective about the individuals that I add. And this is the reason why, because I don't want any energy leeches. I don't want any like energy zombies. Like I need to make sure that the guys who are in my network, like I want to know that, right, if I invite you to Cyprus or Argentina or Thailand, like I want to know that you're going to add to the fun and not take away from it. Does that make sense? So like bottom line, like no boring fuckers allowed. Like I don't have time for energy leeches, guys who just want to like sit around and like talk about theory or just be like negative, just negative people. You know, if you've got negative people in your life, I don't even care who these negative people are, just get rid of them. Like it's the whole like you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, but like even for yourself as well. Like this is something that I do. Like whenever I find myself sinking into like depressive or nihilistic headspaces, I'm just catching myself. I'm like, all the shit that we've got to be grateful for, you little prick. So like, having fun, just smiling, right? It's literally so easy to do, just reminding ourselves to smile, yeah, especially when you're going in for your conversations. Yeah, the amount of guys who are just going over to people like stone face, like the world's about to end. It's like, bro, like come on, lighten up, like shit ain't that deep. And then there'll be people who are like, oh yeah, but you don't know how bad it is. Like, I've got such a like, blah, blah, blah. It's like no one gives a fuck, right? Like no one gives a fuck. You can choose to be happy or you can choose to be sad, right? Happiness is a choice. It's a decision that we can make in any given moment. Yeah, we can be grateful or we can be whatever the opposite of grateful is, ungrateful. But yeah, just You'll see as well, in my conversations that I have, I'm just trying to enjoy myself. You know what I mean? Like, why are we taking all this shit so seriously? Like, they're just girls. The worst they can say is no. And like, I don't know. I just think it's just interesting. But anyway, one of our true Casanovians, Ben, you left a question on a previous live stream, and it ties nicely into this. I'm just going to read it. Ben said, "Do you find da, 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 do you find day game easier than game in pubs or clubs? To me, there are so many more barriers in the traditional pub or club. They're often drunk, which can make them way more ballsy and testy in groups with their friends. And other drunk guys now suddenly have the Dutch courage or confidence to approach and compete in the same room." Um, and I responded saying, historically, I would have said yes to this. However, after this past week, which is like the week that I'm talking to you boys about, the answer is no. I actually now find it all easy as long as I'm having fun in whatever environment I'm in. This has been a massive realization for me. Everything is easy if you're enjoying yourself. I'll dedicate a future live stream to it as it's a juicy topic. Peach emoji. This is the live stream that I'm dedicating. But yeah, that is literally the answer. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's just stop talking about day game, night game, fucking sunset game. It's just having fun with the game. That's all that matters. Like, all that matters is that you're getting yourself into as peak and fun and playful a state as possible, and you're just expressing yourself from this place. Now, look, I'm a realistic guy. I know that it's not always possible, right? And being able to utilize whatever energy we have. Yeah, so maybe one day you are just more low energy. Great, we can lean into that energy. I'm not saying there is a perfect state, because the perfect state doesn't exist, and it can become almost like chasing the dragon. Yeah, waiting to be in that perfect state. Oh, maybe I'm not playful enough yet. Oh, maybe I'm not laughed enough to whatever it is. Like, this is nuanced advice, but I like to think the guys who actually follow this content are educated, critical thinkers, and they can understand what I'm getting at here. But for me, the optimal state, rather than the perfect state, is just being in this state of complete, utter enjoyment. Yeah, whether that's personal amusement, I don't know. I think for this really to have effect, you can't be the lone wolf, right? It just doesn't work. It's not sustainable. It's not healthy, right? If you're just one of those guys, and I talk about this a lot, but it's just important. Like, the whole wave of like pickup artist or I'm a day gamer, like, all that's gone now, right? It's dead. It's history. And if you still want to be one of those guys, then you're fucked, right? You're fucked in the past. You're reminiscing over this bygone era, which I see in comments all the time. Guys will leave these stupid comments being like, "Oh, it was so easier. It was so easier 10 years ago. Like, the girls in London have gotten way harder. Oh, I think it's because of the new updates they've done on WhatsApp." All this bullshit. It's like, the game may well have got harder, but that means you need to get better, right? Build a fucking Instagram profile. Stop relying on one source, like, oh, WhatsApp. Like, this is like, the masses just don't understand this, and that's why I learned this when I was with Ephraim in Cyprus, and I said to him, when I'm doing this content, mate, I'm only speaking to about 10% of my audience, like 10% of my audience. And I hope you're actually one of these 10%. Like, the person who listens to what I'm saying can filter it through his own bullshit mechanism and then be like, I agree with this, not quite sure about this, but I understand what Kristian's saying. I understand he spent time in the trenches, because that's the ultimate bullshit detector. Like, whenever you see somebody online, it's like, who's this prick? Why should I listen to him? Right? But I like to think that the catalog of content that I've created on this channel, the evidence speaks for itself, right? You know, hopefully, that I am a credible source when it comes to this type of stuff. I'm not just another one of those talking head gurus who spends like 100 videos in his bedroom being like, how to be confident. It's like, dude, you don't even fucking butter your own bread. You don't even pay your own council tax. You don't know anything about how to be confident. Anyway, but yeah, just actually having fun. Okay, so how can you have more fun? Yeah, like, how can you factor in more fun this week? Maybe you go to an improv class and you make an absolute tit of yourself. Maybe you just watch comedy. Maybe you just watch some comedy, right? Like, that's like the lowest barrier to entry. Just go on YouTube, like 8 out of 10 cats, or Would I Lie to You? Like, that's good for like some, quick-witted like comedy panel shows. Spending time around people whose approach to life you want to emulate, I think that is the fastest way. Like, if you want to soak up that more playful side of life, then find your people, like, find a like-minded community of like-minded guys who you can actually spend time with as well, like, just soaking up their approach to life, going to a Weatherspoons, just doing these fucking like stupid pranks and just whatever, just making a tout yourself that way. But Yeah, you go to like live comedy events, or just reminding yourself as well, like just reminding yourself to smile. Yeah, just have, if you want to do it, like have a gratitude journal. I find myself doing that more and more actually. Not gratitude journaling, just kind of like these gratitude meditations that I do, like where I just like just walking through London today, and I was kind of getting myself into a bit of a shitty mindset for various reasons. And I just caught myself, and I was like, "Oi, you prick! Like we don't have time to be feeling these shitty things right now, right? We've got fucking empire to build, we've got a world to conquer, we've got a spirit, this untamable spirit. Like fucking just get over your first world problems, right?" So yeah, and I just like sunk into a state of gratitude and just like told myself things I was grateful for, and yeah, it's nice, man. But I think just operating from this place of having fun, yeah, just enjoying ourselves, like speaking with a smile on our face. And I want to leave you with this story, which is really beautiful. Well, it's not really beautiful, but yeah, fuck it, it's beautiful. Um, so I was coaching a guy today in London, and he needed to take a piss, right? So we had two options. We're in Leicester Square. I don't know if you know London, I don't know if you know Leicester Square, but anyway, in Leicester Square, they have the public toilets, which are like underground. They're pretty grotty. They're all right, but they're pretty grotty. Or there's like these like secret toilets which are connected to the cinema in Leicester Square, right? So I was like, listen, bro, let's go to the nice toilets, right? Now, to get to the nice toilet, you basically, to piss in these toilets, you need to be a paying customer in the cinema, right? I knew this in advance. So get to the entrance of the toilet, and there was this lady. So like she was one of the cleaners, and I walk over and I'm like, "Hi, can I use your toilet?" And she's like, "Do you have a ticket?" Right? So like basically, are you a paying customer? I was like, "Nah, do I need one?" And she was like, "Yeah, like you can't use the toilets if you've not paid for anything." Right? And I said to her, "But what about if I've got a really nice smile on my face?" And I smiled, and like she just like lit up, and she was like, "Yeah, go on then." I was like, "Can my friend come as well?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, go on then." So like we go for our piss, we come out of the toilet, right? And then this other guy tries to do the same thing, right? So he tries to use the toilet. She's like, "Have you got a ticket?" And he said, "No, why?" And she's like, "Well, you need the ticket because it's on the toilets are only for paying customers." He didn't see that we went in, by the way. And he's like, "Oh, I don't have a ticket." She's like, "Well, you can't use it." And then he just walked off. I said to the guy that I was coaching, this could easily become one of Aesop's fables, the story of Kristian and the toilet. But there's a lot to take from this story actually. Like essentially, playful persistence, understanding that if you are going to ask a stranger for something, having some sort of justification in there. It could just be something very playful, like, yeah, but I've got a really nice smile. It's like the way that I'm delivering it as well, but the energy that I'm moving with. Like I was already feeling good before this encounter. So like I was almost like just delivering this like really like feel good state. And it's like, the lady just like cracked open a smile. It's like my energy became her energy and everything was nice. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just like a very small story, which I thought, yeah, that elucidates everything so nicely, like internal state, external reality. And it's like, you know, I don't know, it's just like people are just going around the world. You know what I mean? Like we all just want to connect with each other. Do you know what I mean? Like we all just want to receive love. That's it. Like love is the greatest currency. It's why we're doing all this shit. I just want to receive love. You know what I mean? Like we want to feel worthy. We want to feel validated. We want to feel as though our presence means something to somebody. And I think the world that we live in today, the world which is where like face-to-face communication is rapidly degrading. Like this skill set is more important now than ever before. Do you know what I mean? It goes deeper than day game. It's learning how to connect. Yeah, learn how to connect with the world. Like it feels so isolating if you don't know how to connect with other human beings. And like that's why it's like it's cold approach is a catalyst for the rest of your life. Yeah, it's like game is learning how to get what you want, but it's like it's not from a place of like, oh, I get what I want and everyone else has to lose. It's like, no, I get what I want and everyone else rises, right? My client got to go for a piss. I got to go for a piss. That lady felt great because I lifted her spirits up and she was like, oh yeah, this is nice. Like she might have felt just like a young girl again. You know what I mean? Oh, this is nice. Like playful, woohoo. Just breaking that monotonous like 9 to 5 cycle where she, fucking cleaning toilets all day. Oh yeah, that was a nice little like energy spike for my day. That was nice. That guy was charming and like he got it and it was nice. And yeah, we don't know where these positive reverberations are going to go, but just, bro, reminding yourself to have fun. Yeah, like hopefully this podcast has inspired you to just stop being such a boring little fucker. Like find some hobbies which entertain you or excite you. Just start doing like fucking kickboxing or salsa or tango or bachata. Go to a painting class, a pottery class, pole fitness class. I usually like that trifecta of plosives, pole fitness, painting, pottery, alliteration for the win. But yeah, I'm gonna drop that video at 6 p.m. UK time. So hopefully If you subscribe to me and you've got notifications turned on, then you'll be able to get notified immediately when that video drops. Like it's like just fucking favorite video to date, bro. Favorite video. So yeah, I'm really excited for it to. Let me just see. Let me just check the status of it. Oh, cool. It's finished processing. Getting some behind the scenes here, man. Kristian uploading the video. This is like authentic as shit, man. How long are we going for? 20 minutes. Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, hopefully you've enjoyed this live stream, boys. Give it a like if you want to. You don't have to. This is how most guys day game. I just saw you and you look really nice. What are you doing? Oh, you're from France. When I think about France, I think. Oh, it's really bad. Sometimes I just read my YouTube comments as well, just to get my state up. Some fucking weirdos in the comments, man. Oh, it's funny. But anyway, yeah, actually, if you're having a bit of a down day, go in my YouTube comment section. That'll lift you up. But yeah, if you've got any questions that you'd like me to answer, then DM me on Instagram at Kristian Magician. I do read all my DMs, and I will get around to answering people's. I have been answering questions actually. I've been answering people's questions on Instagram. But yeah, at Kristian Magician, just drop us an DM at Kristian Magician. Find me on Instagram. Don't know if you can hear the baby crying. There's a baby. I've got a baby in the house. It's not my baby. Yeah, DM me at Kristian Magician, and I'll answer your questions in real time. But no, this has been a good live stream. I've enjoyed listening to this one. What? Listening to it? Ah, fuck it, don't matter. I'm starting to lose state, man. Right.